How to choose an ukulele that's right for you. Well, there's only a couple of areas you want to look at. Number one is how it sounds, and number two is how it feels. So how it sounds, for someone who doesn't know how to play, if you make your way into a music store that has a collection of ukulele that you can try, you'll get to be able to, even if you just hold it up and just strum the strings, you'll get a sense of what type of tone it is. And the tones you're looking for is a nice, big, warm sound, as opposed to a thin sound. I can only go on what I like. So I love a nice, big, warm sound, and I can find out if the ukulele has that sound by simply playing across all the strings. Both our hands have different functions. So one hand is used for strumming and the other is used to play chords. So tuck the body up against your chest, or lower chest, and with your strumming hand, tuck the base of the ukulele under your forearm. And with your hand, just hold the top part of the bass and just try and get a comfortable feel. Find out where your comfort spot is holding your ukulele. And then with the other hand, our chord hand, we place the neck in the V part in between our thumb and our first finger, up by the headstock. This is our neck. Place it there, and then you can hold your neck up while it's tucked under your forearm, and then you're able to strum across the strings. And I'm just using my thumb to do a downward strum. And the strum is across all the strings. Not hard, probably a 6 out of 10. 6 being medium, 10 being the hardest you can go, so not hard. Probably 3 or 4 strums and you'll get a sense of whether that's a good sound that suits you. If not, try another one and just go through until you find one that you're happy with the sound. Now for me, that's probably the most important thing. The next step is how it feels to play. So there are a couple of things you can try. One in particular is to find out how much pressure you have to place down to play a chord. Now, I'm going to get you to do this in a store if you use your third finger. So we're going to go thumb. This is on your chord hand. Thumb, index finger is number 1, middle finger is number 2, ring finger is number 3, and our pinky is number 4. With your third finger, place it on the string closest to the floor. That's string number 1. Here are our frets, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Frets are the metal parts on the neck. Well, you've got to place your fingers just behind a fret when you're placing them on the neck. Well, we're interested in fret number 3. So let's find out where that is. Number 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to place our third finger on the third fret, 1, 2, 3, of the first string, the one closest to the floor. Now we're almost finished. We have our thumb, which is placed behind the neck. Our thumb plays a very important role because our thumb is going to press against the back of the neck, allowing our fingers to press down on the string. And the firmer you press down with your finger, the cleaner and clearer the note's going to sound. If I didn't have much pressure on my third finger, I'm going to end up with a muted, dull sound. Not the sound we're after. Okay, that's a C chord, C for Charlie. So I'll go through that again. Third finger, thumb, 1, 2, 3. On the third fret, 1, 2, 3, and you place it just behind the fret. Well, you can even place it sort of halfway in between, but what is preferred is just behind the fret and not actually on the fret. Another important thing when playing our chord is we have to use our fingertips. So let's go through that again. Third finger, third fret, 1, 2, 3. First string, one closest to the floor. Thumb placed at the back, supporting our finger. And strum. That's our first chord. C. What we're trying to work out is how it feels. These strings are a certain distance. There is a little gap between the string and the fretboard. And if your strings are too high or away from the fretboard, that means you're going to have to push down quite firmly, quite hard to get your fingertips up on that fretboard. And if you do, that's not a good thing. They call that the action. If the action, this hand is the strings and this is a fretboard. If the action is too high, I'm going to have to use a lot of strength to bring my fingers down to push up against that fretboard. So I don't want that. What you want, and you don't want them too close either, otherwise they'll end up rattling against the frets, and that's not a nice sound either. So you want them just above the frets, where they're not too high, and that makes it a lot easier for you to press your fingers down to play your chords.